Hi guys, Marshall here for our beautiful Friday today. Let's see if we get in the frame right here, right? So today, our training is all about awareness plus worth plus closure, because these all have a relationship to each other. So this week in Being You Brilliantly, we've been exploring awareness. It's week 3, and we're expanding into an awareness of ourselves. What we're receiving, what we're attuned to, what kind of conclusions we're running from, what kind of assumptions we're making, how we're shaping ourselves. We shape ourselves using 3 specific tools. 1, the shoulds we tell ourselves. 2, the musts we tell ourselves. And 3, the don'ts we tell ourselves. These all confine and shape our awareness as to what's possible for us. Now, worth is one of those things that we chronically judge. We make worth important. We try to get other people to control it. We get people to, we want other people basically to regulate our worth for us. That's one of the codependent components, especially one of the dark sides of it, is we regulate their feelings. They regulate how we feel about ourselves. And so if we are willing to actually accomplish closure or healing in our lives, we have to look at what we're aware of about what we're telling ourselves about our value, about worth. So that's the question I want you to think about over the weekend. How am I limiting my worth? Where am I telling myself that I should be something rather than accepting what I am and allowing that to be endorsed? How am I shaming my value? Now let's talk a bit about what worth and value is, because it's very important. It is not what's called output. So if you guys have been in the group for a while, and those of you that are new, this will be new to you, but for those of you that have been with me for a while, this is a really good review on the concept of value. So in narcissistic and toxic dynamics, our value is attached to the outcome we produce for the other person. In healthy relationships, our value is in the fact that we exist, right? And that's what we need to tune into. And that's what awareness is about. And that's what healing is about, is to bring us an awareness of our value, that we are worth knowing, loving, and keeping just because we exist. When we're willing to root into that definition of value, we start accomplishing big things in our life, because we're no longer expending energy and focus on trying to get value from someone else through approval or even through rejection or through being rescued or cared for, cared about. Instead, we're in tune with our own ability to create and then receive what we want. So what I want you to think about this weekend is where you are shaving yourself with those shoulds, don'ts, and musts, where you're judging yourself with shame, with limitation, with an assumption that you're not worth knowing, that you're not worth loving, that there's some aspect of yourself that someone else may not love or want because you don't love and want that. And then I want you to retrieve that value from that. I want you to give yourself permission to be enough despite all your judgments. And if you want to take this into an advanced level, you want to go a little deeper into this, I encourage you to give yourself permission to stop judging your value. Instead, start being you. Now, I know that term, being you, can be very nebulous, very kind of a tricky thing for us to do. And that's good, because if it is, that means you're moving into the unknown space of you. And then you can start asking yourself questions. The same kind of questions I ask on Wednesdays. Who would you be if? Well, who would I be without this judgment about my value? Who would I be if I didn't measure my value? Who would I be if I just allowed myself to be me? See, one of the big toxic things we experience in this world, with especially toxic systems, is that we're fed the idea that we must prove our value, that we must pay attention to it, that it matters somehow to something. When in reality, if we leave our value alone, our worth alone, we treat it sacred, we respect it, and we do not judge or evaluate it, we assume we're always valuable. And then we lean into the truth of that, then we have all this other space to create things that we really want. This is one of the fundamentals that I teach in Being You Brilliantly and in the Codependency Confidence system. When we're moving love, we're moving shame to love as our governing value. We're also giving up controlling other people's perception of our value, and we're connecting back with our actual beingness, okay? This is essential to healing codependency. It is essential to breaking free of the shame cycles we get stuck in. It's the foundation in which we build our happiness, restore love back into our lives, and have the relationships and experiences we want, right? So if that's what you guys want to, if you definitely want to, dive in there, take this back for you, then definitely apply for your seat in the upcoming Being You Brilliantly that starts here this coming June. Or you can do the self-guided processes in Codependency Confidence and begin to assemble that foundation. Take back your love, make love your governing value, reconnect with yourself by creating meaningful connection and relationships with yourself, and then take control of your happiness. That's what Codependency Confidence allows you to accomplish. And Being You Brilliantly helps you find your voice, root into your value and being deeply, and then teaches you how to choose and receive the reality you want in your life. So I appreciate you guys being a part of the group. Thank you for being a part of my life, for contributing to me. And remember that you're worth knowing, you're worth loving, and you're worth keeping. I'll see you guys next week for next week's trainings. You guys have a great day.